In society, there is an attack on men. They tell you that masculinity is toxic. Hell, they promote everything for you that's low-key bad for you. Like, they tell you that, oh, red meat causes heart disease. That's the biggest killer of people. Don't eat red meat. But then they don't tell you that the vast majority of Americans that are eating red meat are eating McDonald's cheeseburgers, and that's what they're counting it as. Steak is obviously, it's one of the best foods for you, and it's super important for men because of testosterone. They tell you, oh no, all these eggs, they're horrible for you. Oh, looks like an egg. They tell you eggs are horrible for you. They're going to give you high cholesterol. They're going to kill you. Well, I was eating 7 eggs a day at one point, and I was just fine. They tell you, oh, body positivity, being 400 pounds is perfectly okay. That is perfectly okay. They tell you a lot of things that are objectively detrimental to you. Everything that they promote, you know, COVID, the pandemic was happening, right? And I remember they were like, oh my God, it's disproportionately affecting communities of color. Why the heck is it doing this? What they don't tell you, oh, you must wear a mask. It's racist. It's because Trump is racist. That's what's wrong. What they don't tell you is that it was affecting us worse, mainly because we were vitamin D deficient, and that's like super important. And the darker you are, the more difficult it is for you to produce vitamin D, and the more time you have to spend in the sun. And when you're on lockdown and you're stuck inside and you're not educated, why the heck was the government and the news not telling us, take your vitamins? It's so essential. It could literally save your life, if you're healthy, everything that is good for you, that is good for testosterone. The average baby boomer, this is fact, in the US, the average baby boomer has a higher testosterone level than the average Gen Zer. When obviously we're like, teenagers in our 20s basically, and they're like 60s, 70s, I don't know. That's horrific. When you look at the average, you ever search up like picture on the beach back in the 60s or 50s versus now, and now we look like whales and stuff. And, I've struggled with it before, but it's like, and they promote to you, oh yeah, watching porn there's nothing wrong with that. That's what they tell you. There's nothing wrong with that. Doom scrolling on TikTok, it's healthy, there's nothing wrong with that. There is an attack on testosterone and on masculinity. And you know why? Because when you have testosterone, when you're more masculine, you're more likely to uprise, to say what you believe in, to say your opinion. You're not likely to conform, right? And, this goes to many deep levels, with the highest level being the government controlling us, obviously. You're less likely to have a revolution if you don't have men to lead it. And when I say men, with high testosterone, soy boy is not doing that. But more realistically and importantly, in our day-to-day lives, it's at the job. They want you. Rockefeller designed. That's great. Rockefeller designed our education system that we use to this day. The reason why you get so much homework and it's just repetitive work, and the SATs, what they grade you on, it's repetitive bullshit. It's not even hard. It's just repetitive, and how fast you can do it is because they're training you to be a worker. That's the whole point of school work. That's the whole point of school in general. You go to school. The reason that the government pays for school is not because they care about our education. They need a place for the children to be so the parents can work, because they want people to work for them. Okay, they don't care about you. They care about their own pockets. If they made 500 billion last year, they need more. They don't give a fuck about you, and you don't even realize it. This is what's wrong with society. It's that you are a slave and you don't even realize it. Every video I make is going to have the same conclusion. You're a goddamn slave. That's my message for you. You're a goddamn slave. And what are you going to do about it? The only way to escape this, I don't even know what I started the video talking about, but everything ties into it. The corporations run everything. You think you have a power? You think you're voting for anything? You think that NFL scandal happened just cause they're doing it, so you're talking about it? So you think something Trump's doing in Iran, it doesn't care about what's going on in the Middle East. It's all a distraction. You're missing the bigger picture when it comes to the politics of it, and more importantly, in your day-to-day, that you are a slave. And when you are so tired because you are consumed by work and the news, you don't have the time to work on your own business, because that's the only way to ever escape being a slave and to have your own time freedom, and to be able to spend time with your family, to actually raise your kids and do anything with your life. Because we just jump in this portal. You graduate high school or college and you're just in this portal. You teleport until you're 65 and you retire, if you get to retire, which doesn't happen all the time nowadays, by the way. But let's say you do. You just work that entire time. When you include the time you work, the time you get ready for work, and the time you spend commuting to work, that is all you did. At best, you might have had time to hit the gym after, maybe. But, okay, I remember now. I was talking about being healthy and fit and all that stuff, right? There's an attack on testosterone, because you won't have the energy to work on your business after work, if you have low test, you won't have the energy to stand up to them to say to the man, because your testosterone is low. They're attacking masculinity, and it's because men are more difficult to control. So they're making you into, I don't want to say a woman, but they're making you into something lesser than a man. The question is, will you allow them to do this? You must do everything in your possible, anything that's possible to just increase your testosterone and increase your ability to escape the slavery. Them.